What's good, it's Show, trying to hit the most woke, no joking, I'm back again with a brand new video, and I'm gonna keep it a Bowberry Biscuit. This is none of my business. This is none of my business, but I'm about to make it my business. I'm about to 100% make it my business. I'm not gonna give you any kind of intro. Throw up this tweet here from Josina Anderson. She seems to be, I don't know who she is to be honest, but she has a check mark, so I assume she has pretty reliable sources and she's in the know. It says she's a Emmy and NABJ, I don't know what that is, award winner, ESPN talent. Basically, she's in the sports world. She does some kind of reporting, but in a tweet she says, "New. I'm told free agents cornerback Daryl Worley is going to sign with the hashtag Raiders per source." Word? Hold up. Word? Daryl Worley gonna sign to the Raiders? Is the cornerback market that bad and the safety market much worse? First of all, if you don't know, if you've been under a rock for the last month, a month ago, maybe a month and a half by now, the Eagles and the Panthers did a 1-for-1 trade, trading Daryl Worley. We gave Daryl Worley to the Eagles for Torrey Smith. But then a month later, like last week or so, Daryl Worley was caught asleep. What was it, at 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. In the middle of an intersection. He got a DUI. He was asleep in a car in the middle of the intersection with a gun in his car, which I want to reiterate again. It's not illegal to be in possession of a gun if you have the right permits and licenses for it. And I don't know if he did or not, so I'm not going to condemn him for having a gun on him. But he got like testy with the police and physical, and they had to tase him. Now, all I know is if you catch someone asleep at the wheel in an intersection very, very early in the morning, mind you, there are families out in the early morning, but he was close to the Eagles facility, and you got a gun in the car, and you're testy and physical with the policemen who come and talk to you. Look, man, it's not a good look. It's not. And I've seen a lot of people talk about this situation. People can talk about what happened with it. Talking about, like, it is Philly, and if you're a black man in the city, they're gonna be huffy and puffy. I'm not gonna front, bro. If you're an NFL player for the most part, I know you didn't play for the Eagles, but if it's Philly, they just won a Super Bowl, and you just got signed to the Eagles. Most police officers, I'm gonna let you know right now, even players on teams that don't do well, they get preferential treatment from police officers. I'm telling you that right now. People want to give a little bit of leeway to their NFL teams, especially coming off a Super Bowl win, even if he wasn't on the team. But not even about that. If you're getting physical with them, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Like, they're the police, so if they're gonna get physical with you, you're gonna have so much pride. Like, no, I'm not gonna let you pull me out my car as I'm asleep in an intersection. Like, what kind of monster you have to be in to be like, you know what? You're in the wrong here, even though I'm asleep in an intersection with a gun in the whip. I just don't understand, bro. And there's a lot of race baiting going on with that story. I don't subscribe to that. I know police are extremely. Look, there's some. I don't get to all that. Police can be a problem for people of color, and I've experienced it myself firsthand. But come on, in that situation, you gotta give a little bit of the benefit of the doubt. I mean, you see a guy in those specific situations like that. Come on now. Okay, and let's get into the Raiders gonna sign Daryl Worley. Didn't their new head coach just cut one of the best punters in the league because he was mildly disruptive in the locker room? Now, I understand he had a big contract for a punter, but don't you want, with that talent, I think he's worth the money. I think Marquette King was worth the money, and honestly, and then you just can't call out. He was calling out Mark Cooper on a year where he came back from injury. He was injured, had a concussion, and he's calling like, I need Amari I need him to have a year like his first 2 years when he wasn't injured, when he didn't have a concussion, when he was perfectly healthy. Like, I don't understand that. And then you're gonna sign this guy? You're gonna sign this guy who couldn't stay out of trouble for a month and a half in Philadelphia? You want Daryl Worley, but you're gonna call out your star receiver and cut a top 3, in my opinion. He was the 4th ranked in stats for punters, but he's a top. I think he's a top 3 punter in the league, and you're gonna have all these inflammatory comments in the press about it. And you're gonna pick up Daryl Worley? I don't even think he'd be a starter on the Panthers, but we have no secondary. Daryl Worley was like a 4th or 5th corner for the Eagles. They didn't need him. I mean, honestly, that trade was kind of weird because they were just gonna straight up cut Torrey Smith, and we gave them Daryl Worley, who we didn't really want anymore, and but we could use a receiver. It was always kind of weird that they didn't want Torrey Smith to begin with. They didn't even need Daryl Worley. Honestly, they're like, well, we can just get him whatever. It don't matter to us. But Daryl Worley was starter caliber for us. And I won't lie, if he would have come back for the vet minimum, I maybe pick up Daryl Worley again. But I still want to draft a cornerback. It don't really matter to me. We probably would have dropped him. But nothing about Daryl Worley, any of these situations make any sense to me. How do you ruin one opportunity? How do you get traded, get switched to one of the best opportunities of all time? Not of all time, but one of the best opportunities right now. Go to the Eagles, who have a really good MVP caliber quarterback and a backup quarterback who just won the MVP of the Super Bowl. And you're not gonna be the number 1 corner or the 2 corner or the 3 corner. You'll be a depth corner there, but at least you can get some money. You can get a ring, possibly. You have the best chance, a really good chance, a top 3 in the NFC chance to make it back to the Super Bowl. I don't understand that. And then you're back, on the Raiders, who they're always, for the last few years, they've been like, oh, this is their year. Okay, never mind. Next year is their year. Okay, never mind. Next year is their year. I don't see it. With these kind of moves they're making in the offseason, I don't know, bro. I gotta say, I just think that the Raiders are making some of the worst moves in this offseason, and this is just another example of, if this happens, if this is true, Josina, please be reliable. But Daryl Worley, I would have to say it's just not it. It's just not it, man. I don't understand the situation at all. I don't get it, man. But what do y'all think, man? What do you think about this situation with Daryl Worley? Is he worth all these issues, man? Is he worth all that? I don't know, man. Let me know in the comments below. You already know to do that like button. I got a button right here for subscribe. I got a button right here for to watch more videos, man. Namaste. Back sooner than you think.